Hey Facebook. I keep saying it's been a while, but I'm not going to say that anymore. I'm just going to commit to coming on and doing a live once per week, as opposed to complaining that I'm not able to come on as often as I'd like to. Hello Ian, welcome. So I think Thursdays will probably be the day that I can actually squeeze in the time to do these Facebook Lives, which I actually like doing them, but just I have to prioritize what makes the most sense in terms of time as well. So if you're joining in for the very first time, or maybe this was shared out with you and you have no idea who I am, well, let me go ahead and quickly introduce myself, and then I wanted to share something really, hopefully it's going to be quick with you guys. So my name is Krista Jennings, and I teach entrepreneurs as well as businesses how to grow and scale their business by implementing systems and strategies. So that's a little bit about me and the work that I do. Hello. I see people rolling on in, but I can't actually see who you are. So I don't bite. You can say hello. Let me just go ahead and share this out a few places, and then we're going to get started. So but today I want to actually, as I'm going ahead and sharing this out, I wanted to talk a little bit about being a profit activator. And I had a story. Let me write it down so I don't forget. Hello. So I wanted to share some things around a funnel that I created a funnel that I created recently, within the last couple of weeks or so, for a client. And I wanted to, it was a really high converting sales funnel for one, because we had all the key pieces. So one thing that is important to know if you don't know what a sales funnel is, let me first of all start off by actually giving you a definition of what it is. So ultimately, a sales funnel is a way in which you are able to attract, connect, and convert leads into paying customers and clients for your business, whether it is that you're selling a product or a service. So for my client, she had a really good lead magnet. But the thing is that she had this lead magnet, and she had created it before she and I had started working together. But then the sequence of emails that followed the lead magnet, there was a few gaps in that. And I think sometimes when you're so attached to something, it can become really challenging for you to have a very clear picture and really see things, from a different perspective or through different lens, right? Because you're so attached to it. So it's always good to have, that second pair of eyes to see something. So I could right off the top see the holes, for better lack of words, that was in her sales funnel. So one of the things that was missing was there wasn't any storytelling. Like, she had a lot of valuable content, a lot of valuable information to share. However, with that being said, the information, the messaging was not very appealing. It just didn't connect, right? So, I mean, and this is something that I've experienced, so I'm not saying like I know this, because I'm assuming if you're watching this, I'm probably a few steps ahead of you. So, I'm saying this to say that, like, ultimately you want to have that second pair of eyes. 2, you want to also ensure that whatever it is that your sequence of emails consist of, your goal is also to connect. So yes, you ultimately want them to buy or to do said call to action, whatever that call to action is. But you want to ensure that you're creating moments in which you can really connect. And that's why it's important for you to, and I can't stress this enough to all my clients, is for you to really understand where along on the journey your ideal client or customer is. So if you know this journey that they're embarking on, this journey that they're going on, where it is that they are in their life, get really, really clear in that so that you can connect it makes it that much easier for you to connect. It ensures that you're connecting very intentionally and you're being very clear as to what it is that you're saying, how you're saying it, and the timing by which you're saying this as well. Okay, so those key things matter. So storytelling is really, really powerful. And one of the things that I did with my client was I thought about, okay, what would be the experiences of someone who's experiencing, so she's in like the weight loss space. So I said to her, like, what are some of the challenges? What are some of the things that people are experiencing on their journey to releasing 10 pounds, right? Let's use the word release as opposed to like get rid of, because you can get rid of something and then like more than likely you can put it back on. So what does that journey look like, right? So what are the things that they've tried? What are some of the things that some of the challenges that they're experiencing on a daily basis? Like, speak to those very specific things, but use it in the context of storytelling, because stories sell. So you just don't want to just throw a bunch of information at people, because when you do that, it doesn't empower them. I mean, it educates them, but does it really motivate them to take action? And ultimately, your job is never to sell or convince anyone to buy anything. Your job ultimately is to educate and motivate people to make an informed buying decision. You never, ever want anyone to buy from you without being informed about what it is that they're ultimately getting, right? So you want people to make an informed buying decision. With that being said, you want to use that's why the power of like storytelling is really, really key here. And it also ensures that it qualifies people. So if you're using the story, you're talking about some of the challenges, you're talking about some of the experiences, and if there's a disconnect, then it's going to allow for you to really identify the people who are ready to take action, as opposed to the people who are not quite ready to take action, whether it's that they're not as informed as they need to be. And that's why, when you're creating a lead magnet, think about, are you speaking to the informed, the afflicted, or the oblivious client or customer? You want to get really clear on who it is you're ultimately speaking to. You don't want to speak to someone blindly. Like, you need to get really specific as to who it is that you're speaking to. I see people rolling on in. Hello, welcome. Right, so you want to get really specific as to who it is that you're speaking to, where it is that they are along in their journey, and what's really important to them. So what are their desires? What are their values? What are their beliefs? What are the things that they want to experience in their life? What does the future improved versions of themselves look like? Like, think about, once they have this transformation, once they go through this experience, what does their life look like, right? Well, if you get really clear on these things, guys, it makes it that much easier for you to connect and convert people into paying clients and customers, as opposed to you having to convince anyone. Your job should never, ever be to convince anyone of anything. Your job is to educate, motivate people to make an informed buying decision. You want people to go into anything blindly, wondering if, having buyer's regret, thinking that I just bought this thing and it was just a waste of my time and money. Like, you never want anyone to feel that way, right? So it's important that you focus on really understanding who it is that you want to ultimately help, and speak to those things. Use that kind of language so that you can deepen the level of connection that you have with your potential clients and customers. But it makes it easier for you to monetize as well. So I believe that whatever messaging it is that you're using in your marketing content will definitely support you in increasing those profit margins, right? So, the title of this particular broadcast is about being a profit activator. So in order for you to be that profit activator, you need to have a better handle and a better level of clarity and scope on who it is that you want to help, and ultimately where it is that that potential person needs to go, and whether or not they're informed. I want to say this: whether or not they're informed, or they're afflicted, or they're oblivious, the solution generally is going to be the same. It's the means by which you get them to that solution that's where it's going to vary. So your messaging will change depending on whether or not they're informed, they're afflicted, or they're oblivious. And if you don't know anything about those three types of clients. Let me break that down if maybe you're joining in for the very first time, or you're not familiar with that concept, with those three concepts around those three types of ideal clients and customers. Let me break that down for you. So naturally, like the person who is informed, they're informed, right? They know exactly what it is that they're experiencing. They know the challenges that they're experiencing. They know what kind of solutions are out there in the marketplace. They've done their research. They know about you, your competitors. They're informed, right? And there's a person who is afflicted. The person who is afflicted, they're somewhat familiar as to what's going on. Like they can call a thing, right? That's how I like to break it down. Like they can call a thing. Like they can say, you know what, I'm depressed, or I am experiencing chronic backache, or I need to I need to scale my business. I need to put myself in a better position to grow my business. I need my business to be less owner reliant and it be more systems reliant, as opposed to me having to be and do everything in your business. And of course, there's going to be a stage in which you will be doing everything in your business. But ultimately, your job is to put yourself in a position where you don't need to be, and you can start outsourcing things. And for some people, it's a bit of a challenge because they feel as if like, oh, I need to have a hand on everything. No one's going to do it exactly how I want it to be done. Granted, those are all valid. I won't say valid, but they're all valid concerns. However, there's certain things that requires your expertise. It requires your personal attention, and there's other things that don't. The things that don't, be okay with releasing it, having someone outsourcing it, having someone else do it, creating a process around it, explaining exactly how it is that you want it to get done. Anyways, I kind of went off on a different tangent there. So there's the informed, like I mentioned, there's the informed client or customer, there's the afflicted, and then there is the oblivious. The oblivious, by the term, naturally, the person who is oblivious, they can't call a thing. They're just they're pretty much aimlessly going through life without really understanding what's happening. And in order for you to really connect and convert the person who is oblivious, you need to speak to very, very specifically that challenge that they're experiencing. What does that actually look like on a day-to-day basis? What are the symptoms, for better lack of words, when you really want to connect and convert the client or customer who is oblivious. So those are the three types of ideal clients and customers. So your messaging needs to be clear and as to who it is that you're wanting to connect and convert, and ensuring that your messaging is in alignment with either of those three clients or customers: the informed, the afflicted, or the oblivious. So that needs to be super clear, and that will allow for you to ensure that when you start building up your sales funnel, that you are prioritizing, very solid marketing message so that you can, of course, monetize. So I wanted to come on and share that with you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I'm going to hop off because I have a call shortly and I want to grab something to eat before I get on that call. But if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section, or if you want to send them to me directly on DM. Just get right to the point. Like, don't just say hi, get to the point, ask your question, and I will see, depending on what the question is, maybe we need to set up like a consultation, a strategy session or something like that. So with that being said, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And if you want to learn how to create the sales funnel, create this marketing message, create these pieces that allows for you to streamline and monetize in a very strategic way, then you definitely need to join in an upcoming class that I'll be hosting. I'll go ahead and pop it's in the description of this particular broadcast, but I'll also go ahead and pop the link in the comment section. Let's see. I see people rolling on. And hi, Chelsea, how are you? Let's see here. Okay, so let me just pop it in the comment section. And yeah, so go ahead, if you want to learn how to create your own sales funnel, then you definitely need to join in on this upcoming training. Will it allow me to pin it? I think I pin it right here. Let's see. No, maybe after. All right, so there is the link there. Go ahead and grab your spot if you haven't done so already. And if you have any questions about this training as well, let me know. You guys enjoy the rest of your morning, night, evening, whenever it is that you're watching this, and I will speak to you guys soon. Bye.